Hey, where's my money?
Jesus Christ.
Just take the camera off.
By the stench of me. How are you, penis? I haven't seen you in a while. This is content. Go.
America! Fuck yeah!
That cat out of here.
I didn't hear anybody clapping.
Skull, Dixon, how are you?
Oh my God, Shuli. I thought about that. So funny that you said that.
So amusing.
Whoa. Fuck you, Mike Morse.
Am I in trouble?
Yeah.
Cutie patootie.
You're fat and you talk with Laura. I never had a desire to go into the middle.
Jesus wept, Mike.
Susanna wasn't going to be you. I'm the goat.
Jesus Christ.
I just met my husband on Flare Up.
Jesus Christ.
What a douche.
Let it burn time.
Rob fucks Bijan Priest.
Skunk fart.
Excuse me, you're wrong.
It's edgy as F.
Clay, to me, is a cool dude. You all know I love Clay Dabble.
Shuli Network and Gash.
Clay is my friend.
Hey there, Mr. Blister.
I got a tiny dick.
Look at this fucking dummy. This drooling, fucking inept, low IQ, horrible father douchebag.
Whatever.
Let's watch the dues pay you.
Whatever.
We're doing it.
What the F?
Gifted membership machine.
You should get a job, Opie.
Oh, that's the singer.
I've been.
Point DabblePoint. a Stuttering John Melendez roundtable discussion.
Oh, yeah, it's about that time. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Point DabblePoint, a weekly roundtable discussion about, get ready for this, all things Dabbleverse related. That's right. This son of a bitch is trying to shut us down, and that is not going to happen. So we are branching out. Not only will we be talking about John, but we will be discussing some of the other magic that is happening in the Dabbleverse. Joining me today, you know her, you love her, the Mrs. Type Box if you're nasty, Lucy in the building, once over Kaylee on social media, movie review show, mover and a shaker. Mover and a shaker.
It is Miss Tightbox, but you know.
If you're nasty. And soon to be Mrs. Lenny from Long Island. So it's maybe got off to a bit of a rocky start, but I think you two kids will hit it off.
A girl can dream.
Well, we'll find out Wednesday on the show, on Wednesdays. And, of course, the other smoking hot cutie down here, you know him, you love him. He's the guy who wanted to trade Josh Allen in week 4. He is Karl Heberger. Come on.
Fuck you! What is happening, Shuli Egar? Josh is welcome back on the Bills now.
He's good now. And, of course, you know him from TSN. You hate him like I do. He is Mike Morse.
You've grown to love me.
I have no choice.
Tolerate me?
I'm locked in at this point. Yeah. It's like marriage with you. What am I going to do? Go find somebody else at this point? It's not going to happen. All the celebs are here. Hello, Clay. Hello, my friend.
Hey.
Hi, Clay's lawyer.
Clay Dabbler, a member here at TSN. Makes total sense. And I saw your latest sculpture of John. It's interesting. You got rid of his boobs. You made a conscious effort to slim him down.
Yeah.
So
but it did make him actual height, which I thought was nice.
Hey, listen, the Kate Meany workout pays off in clay figurines.
You know, Clay also was commissioned to do a goblin version of me that came out fantastic. Conspire a Theory on X, also known as Skinny Chad Zumach, also had Cardiff's kids do a painting.
Ooh.
I don't know if you guys have seen this.
Wow.
Amazing.
That's amazing.
That's great.
She's brilliant.
Yeah, she's fantastic. I think it was his design, but my teeth are actually better.
Yeah,
she did.
Yeah.
She's
You've never
obviously
heard
a
of
fan.
that.
Did you get those in Turkey?
Clay, fantastic work as usual. And I know you've thanked me privately. There's no need to thank me. I know it was all my idea for you to start doing this and selling it to fans. And I'm glad it's working out. You don't owe me anything. Keep kicking ass, my friend. That's all. You're one of the good ones in the SJ Army. I will say that. So there is some stuff to talk about regarding Stuttering John. Bit of a big announcement. I believe the gentleman has a bit of a tour on his hands.
He sure does.
He mentioned a few gigs that he had. Whoa, is this a new picture? Isn't this his
New
real estate?
headshots.
Isn't this like his real estate photo or something?
This was up on the Stress Factory website for his upcoming tent gig.
This has to be a Tonight Show thing or something. There was a wardrobe department. There's no way that's his.
Yeah, but it does not fit him. It looks like, you know what it looks like? You know those breakaway suits that people put on? Yeah.
Yes.
And they could, and there's something else underneath. That's what it looks like.
He's wearing a male stripper suit, is what you're saying.
No,
Look at that.
please don't make me think about that.
I see a lot of law breakers here tonight.
So will he wear a collar at that show? He's been wearing T-shirts everywhere he goes to perform comedy. And I know at least the comedy club here in Rochester, that is frowned upon from the management. They prefer the comics dress up for it. They're performing.
Yeah. Well, I know at Stress Factory, that's an upscale tent.
Yeah, right.
He got a good talking to from Tom Cotter. He's like, you gotta separate yourself from the audience. You understand? Put on a nice suit and look like you know what you're doing up there. Jesus Christ. There's no way he's gonna be in a suit. Does that picture scream funny? Does his newest headshot scream funny to you? You know, I mean, what happened?
Frog?
Hello?
Oh, did I do that?
I think so. But I was
I
going to say,
apologize.
the new one is kind of funny.
Yeah, it's not funny for the right reasons.
Well,
It's funny to us.
Yeah, and it's no. Put the new headshot back up. Yeah, this was perplexing on so many levels. Yeah, 3 layers of outerwear, which is bananas, and then again, I say it. It looks as if he didn't know he was taking pictures, and this is the picture that they landed on.
And that's nothing that he owns. He's never worn any of this. So
they had wardrobe when he got there, huh?
Yeah.
Of course.
Okay.
Have you? He would have worn this 10 times on his podcast by now.
Right. And the other, here's what I'm thinking with that other one. It would actually be a good character. He comes on stage with a suit that's a little too big and the tie's badly tied. And then he does his, you too fucking. So he's like the drunk uncle.
Right.
Character,
Right.
At a wedding,
Yeah. The guy who's had one too many and everybody wants him to leave.
Yeah.
That guy.
Yeah.
If you drew John in art class, you'd lose credit for fucking up the ears. Those aren't human ears.
We watched Easter from, what was it, a year or 2 ago? And it was like he had no ears at all until he turned sideways. You could not see them at all. It's crazy. So here's my question regarding this tour. I think he mentioned Chicago is on the clock.
Yep.
Really?
Indiana?
Chicago's a big, there's
I
a
know.
lot of outskirts of Chicago.
Frog, what were the places? Chicago, Indiana,
which I wondered if they weren't the same gig.
Could be.
Because Chicago's awfully close to the Indiana border. And I believe he also said Arizona.
Okay. So my question to you is, in any of these shows, can we expect new material?
That is the question. He's been working on his one-man show. He's writing jokes every day. He's got to work on some new stuff, you would think.
You would think. And
No.
especially that you're booking more places and it's like, you want to be able to come back.
Well, also, like, there's jokes that bomb every time.
Right.
And you would think that he would try to find something to replace those. Like, hey, you guys like the Kardashians?
Those are my staples, Karl. I don't replace the bombing trifecta. Yeah.
I fucked one of the Kardashians. It was Bruce, but I'll take it.
Yeah, that whole Kardashian chunk can go bye-bye.
Yeah.
I agree. But
everyone has moved on, John.
he hasn't. For material purposes and work purposes, I refuse to move on. So the tour is happening. There are people reaching out from every place he mentioned going, I can't wait to go. I'm going to be wearing this mic, this camera, like everybody's gearing up.
Ready.
Yeah, everybody's got their poppies ready.
Yep.
I'm curious to see how this tour goes. Even before the tour, he's got ChillerCon.
Next weekend. This weekend.
Couple
of days.
That's
$50 for a professional photo with John Melendez. Where do you put the over-under and how many photos are taken with John?
Well, here's my question. Can you bring your own photo of John for him to sign? Will he charge you for that?
If you pay the money, I don't see why you wouldn't.
Well, it's interesting you say that because we here at TSN, we want fans to be able to get their money's worth. So why he's gonna sign a headshot with him with 3 layers of clothing on, or in a suit that's not his? No, we have been capturing screenshots throughout the years of John. Our friend Moonhead Vinny Paulino coined the frame "dropping the needle." Anywhere, anytime you hit pause on John, you have a killer screenshot. So
you gotta love Vinny Carlino.
So you guys get ready because we're gonna put this up full screen for you guys. So if you wanna print these out and bring them and get them signed, I think that would be great. Frog, you want to? Oh, is that? I got it. Go ahead. Sorry. All right, there's one.
Beautiful. The hair.
Yeah. That's action shot, we call that. There's another fun one. There you go, folks. Grab it. There's a good one.
He's never looked better. You can almost see the spittle in the corner of his mouth.
Oh, you
No,
can.
you can. It's not
Yeah.
almost.
No, that's absolutely
Yeah,
what that is.
all right. I was trying to
Yeah.
ignore it.
The young Adolf look. This was a hot look for a little while.
You can put your own mustache on before you ask him to sign it. Oh.
Yeah. That is the pool of saliva in his mouth.
Whatever
And
else is in there.
I believe we put kids river rafting
Mhm.
in that picture. I think we photoshopped something. Here you go. This is a great one.
It's a twofer.
Yeah. I just have a friend recording the look on his face when you plop this down on the table and go, how bad you need my $50, pal?
Isn't there a lizard that has like 2 sets
Yeah.
of eyelids?
Yeah.
Maybe a frog or something.
Oh, they are
What is
called
that?
reptilians, my friend. Yeah, this is the shit Riley was talking about for all those years. A gecko, somebody said.
Yep.
Yep. That's a great one. That one might be my favorite. That's a good one.
Oh, that's a real good one.
That's great.
Ask him to sign it right down the forearm.
I'm going to get this tattooed on my body later. Bob Nelson. Yeah, he's doing the elephant sound right there. That's a good one. Dude, he looks like that old guy yelling at the trumpet player in that video.
Yeah.
You
Is he
know?
wearing a corduroy vest in that?
Yeah, a blazer.
What is he
Yeah,
wearing?
blazer.
Blazer.
Ugh.
Oh, he's a school teacher, obviously.
Of
Right.
course.
Professor.
I forgot.
Professor
I
John,
forgot.
we call this one.
Class is in session, kids. Welcome to second grade music production.
Do, Ray, and then there's a third one.
Oh, the only one he'd know is me.
Yeah, good point.
This is a good one. The Dink. I love that. There you go. That's fun with that one. There's another.
Violence against me.
I'm taking this to the Chilicon police.
Oh, is that the wink to Kate?
No.
Yep.
It is.
No.
Yep.
Oh, no.
I hate it. I hate
What was
it
the
so
song he was
much.
singing right before this?
Purple Rain.
Oh, right.
Kate.
A little surprise for you guys. Guess who found 3 calls that didn't air during the weekend?
I would guess Frog because he does all the work over there.
Exactly.
Okay.
There you go. There's Monkey John. That's a good one.
See, he'd like that one. See?
Yeah. Thank you for bringing this out. I got to print this out and sign more of these.
That's how many times he should have been fired from the Howard Stern show and Tonight Show. It's all the pig slips.
Right. They're all come to my office after the taping. Hey,
there you
find
go.
the Kate pick. Good pick, too.
Yeah.
There you go. I love that. So there's some suggestions for you guys to take over there with you to ChillerCon if you're going to see John. Pay your money and then, get what you paid for.
I hear that after he signed on to be there, they renamed it Deuce Chiller Theater.
I like that. All right.
But, honestly, how many people will pay $50 for a photo with John? If it's more than one, I'd be surprised.
Yeah,
I think it's
you
gonna
can
be a
buy
lot.
you could buy his autograph online for $10.
Is there a price list of the other people there? Because I'm curious what Gina Gershon is charging.
So I would say that $50 is pretty standard for autographs at conventions like this. Like for Chiller, that is very standard. What I think is going to happen, I actually think he's going to get quite a few people paying that $50 because I think it's going to be all Dabbleverse people.
Of course.
So I
Right.
think that
Yeah,
if
Michael
we
Gavin
did not
Ali is going to be
exist-
there. Yeah.
If we did not exist, I think that he would sell 0. That being said, I think he's going to sell at least 10 to
Okay.
us.
Here's another idea. Aside from having him sign those photos, which is great. Also, wear lifts. Wear something that makes you taller. If you're going to pay the $50, and then send us the photo of you and little Johnny.
That's great.
That'd be fun.
If you guys could all wear heels, that would
Yeah.
be awesome.
Or if you could tape a rulers to the side of your.
Oh, it's an even better idea. Get a tape measure and pull it up.
You know what? Make a shirt and pants that are a tape measure that is exactly your height. and then just come stand next to him for a picture.
Can we get a photo at this convenience store entrance, please, John? Come here.
Stand in this doorway 1 second. I just want to see something.
Great.
Oh, that's so funny. You know somebody's gonna think of something crazy like
Oh,
that.
you know he's gonna get on his tippy toes too. So call him out on that. Watch for that.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Hearns 55. Stuttering John said on X he's got a comedy gig in London. No comedy club would pay for his flight and hotel. He's getting desperate, lying for some kind of recognition.
So he's back on X again. That's interesting because he shut that down for a little bit.
Well, he did have a tweet. Wasn't that a tweet the other day about Trump? Website back up shortly.
Well, this was from a couple days ago.
Okay, just booked 5 more gigs. I'm back on tour just out of Cleveland, Indiana, and Tampa. And he was just in Niles, Ohio. So apparently,
Yeah, Cleveland. That's interesting. I wonder who he's teaming up with to perform in Cleveland. Could it be a Cleveland slow?
Might be. You should ask KB. He's all things Ray these days. He's monitoring him like a hawk, which is, I mean, I don't, whatever, to each his own. Gowron, becoming a member. Greetings, Gowron. Always good to have you, my friend. Thanks for all the laughs. Go Bills.
Go Bills. Trey White's coming back to the team. Let's go.
Thanks, Shuli, for helping me through my funk yesterday. All good, E. We've all been there, man. It's all good, buddy.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Karl's here.
You don't have to read it sarcastic, asshole. It might have been sincere.
Those kind of people.
God damn it! I always get the wrong.
Those kind of people, they don't do sarcasm.
This is my show. I'm the co-host of this fucking show.
Tailgating at a Metallica concert. Random people and I singing Downtown Dula. I love that.
Nice.
I love that. I look forward to my return to the Stress Factory, mate. I just got an offer from a comedy club in London. Just do it.
Where's the offer? Piss off.
So
Well,
does he mean London, Ontario? Like, there's no way that he means London.
No.
Right. Good point. There's
See
other Londons.
See you in Paris. Oh, it's Texas? God,
John, I can't afford to have your plane ticket over here. I'm sorry.
John, I got a comedy club in my flat. You want to come perform in it?
Yeah, I mean, figures I've got to sell to be able to afford a ticket to get you over here.
Hashtag John ran from Shuli. Thank you. Yes, we had this week, John. This is a good thing to talk about because I know you covered it. We covered it, but we never actually have talked about it.
Yeah, the lie call to Kevin Brennan.
Not only the lie, but one of his worst lies, because he's claiming we were hiding in the parking lot,
right?
But none of our cars were there.
Yeah, it was some weird fan fiction that he came up with for this one. Now, hiding in our cars would have been difficult because all of us brought as many people as we could fit into the cars with us.
Yeah. We were all cramped in there. We all came. Soon as we got there, everybody exited the vehicles. Nobody was hanging out in the cars and walked right in. John, we literally were 3 minutes away and we got the text. John just left.
Was that the worst, though, Kevin Brennan's interview with John, where John's like, I got there at 5:30. I waited until 7:47. At what point did Kevin go, yeah, but they were meeting there at 8. why would you stick around 13 more minutes?
Yeah, but why would Kevin bring that up and ruin the super chats coming in?
Actually, I do have audio from right before we arrived at Stevie Tomatoes.
Yeah, it was interesting to see, especially since everybody knows what happened and knows the actual story.
Yeah, we were all there. It's so ridiculous that he's making this whole thing up that you were calling the owner and the owner told you not to come in. And
yeah, and not just us, but like the audience the next day at the Dabble House, we showed, we proved to everybody where we were, how we entered, where we hung out. We were there until 11 o'clock at night, well after his big interview with Steve Trevelise was over.
Right.
He could have popped back over at any time.
He probably had to call Dirty Deeds back, I would imagine.
Yeah, well, when someone's agreeing with you, you can't let them go, in John's world. But yeah, it was cool to kind of sit back, I think for me, for sure, but for other people, sit back and watch the lie in progress and know what the truth is and to be like, wow, this guy's fascinating. He really is. When Lucy says no, there's going to be a rafter with Leonard was here. Karl was Joker 2. Karl, how was Joker 2? Joking. I know it sucked.
Yeah, last night for my consequence for the creep off, I had to watch Joker Folie à Deux 3 times in a row.
And you still can't pronounce the title correctly.
What is it? How is it pronounced?
I'm not going to do it. I can't do
Come
it.
on.
I'm just going to make fun of you. Come on.
You have to.
Folie à deux.
Folie à deux.
Folie à deux.
Yeah, beautiful. I love it. I love it.
After 3, did you find anything good? Did you see something that, because
It gets
nobody's
worse and
ever
worse.
watched it? Nobody's ever watched it more than once, I'm sure. So maybe you caught something no one else has.
That bad, huh?
The thing that's shocking about it is that it's made for no audience whatsoever. If you liked the first Joker, you'll hate this movie. If you like musicals, you'll hate this movie. The only funny part is Tim Dillon in there as a security guard. That's the only funny part.
I'm going to watch it just to see Tim in
that.
It's hilarious.
Because I remember seeing him go and, doing interviews after the movie. And he was like, we were eating craft services going, this is really bad. Because,
Yeah, like, why are they making this? Who greenlit this project? This is terrible.
Thank you, Beef Drippins. Motor Heathen, happy Monday, you glorious MFers. Question for Lucy, Emperor or Mayhem?
Nowadays, probably Emperor. Probably back in the day, Mayhem. I'm very sad that I'm missing the Emperor tour that is happening right now. I can't make it to any of the shows, so that stinks.
Well, you have the Isotopes. That
Yeah,
helps.
I sure do.
We just had a show this past weekend at Johnny's Irish Pub that was fantastic. Lucy bringing on some new dancers for us.
Whoa, you guys got
Yeah.
dancers now?
Oh, yeah. Lucy's one of our go-go dancers, and we got additional ones too.
Someone's doing well.
It was a great show.
Thanks, guys. Oh, by the way, love the look, Lucy.
Thank you very much.
Stuttering John's crusty pubes. The lovely Miss Tightbox bears a strong resemblance to actress Allie Larder. Fuck Mike Morse. Oh, hi, Don. Any upcoming gigs? Also, props to the frog. It's a lot you got in there. 1 month. Yeah, boys are gone. Hey, Lucy, want to go do the Eiffel Tower?
Never. No.
Wear
no,
a
I do not.
John's one-man act is going to expose him as David Brent character, and the Netflix special that follows will cement him in Kaufman comedy history. Yeah. It's one of my favorite things Ricky's ever done is the David Brent Life on the Road with David Brent. Love
I really hope John does some new stuff because, usually you do them in little places, just, you try it out a little bit and just to see, but he's just going, boom, this is my gig and I'm doing the shit that I've never done in front of anyone before.
Well, if he is doing new stuff, then yes, that is accurate.
But yeah.
I don't know what you guys are talking about. I see no way in which this doesn't end up in a resounding success for John, filled with gloating and skull for all. Maybe you're right, Ken. Maybe we're a little too close to the situation. You guys want to hear a call or two?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. This one, should I start with beautiful or should I end with that one, Frog? Because that one seems like a strong one.
Yeah, no, end with that one.
All right. So this is, remember, John's love, passion, besides Kate and Paris in a skirt in the Eiffel Tower, is teaching, changing kids' lives. Boom! The future.
Bye, Shuli.
What a fucking asshole.
What a
Did he really
future.
just do that?
What a future.
All right, well, head over to the Who Are These Podcast channel. We'll be doing the rest of Point DabblePoint.
I'm going over with you guys. Fuck sure.
All right. Sounds good.
All right. In the meantime,
let's hear it.
Real BK. The ad for the Stress Factory 10 show mentions Dude, Where's My Car? Osmosis Jones and Private Part. No one too many. Shocking.
No airheads either.
and
Come on.
In the meantime, somebody did send me the price list for the ChillerCon. It says photo op though, not autograph. So is that different?
Probably.
No, John's doing a photo op. That's what it says. Professional photo, $50. I didn't see autograph on there. I could be wrong.
Oh, so you might not get an autograph with this, but
People don't care about autographs anymore. Everyone wants their photo with the celebrities. That's
he's
way
not
cooler.
even on the list for starters, which is weird.
All right. It's weird. Not weird at all.
Yeah. If you want to stand or sit next to John, just go to the nearest pub after the chiller.
Right. It's not difficult to get a photo with John.
Yeah. If the hotel has a bar, go there.
How much is why do I keep forgetting his name? Karl, you know his name. That's also in One Too Many.
Jim J. Bullock, $70.
$70 for Jim J. Bullock. See that? I feel like I would want that more. Like I want to go get my picture taken with him, and I want to say, please tell me anything that you remember, which we all know is nothing. But I like that's the picture I would want.
Right.
Anyone with Photoshop skills doesn't need to get their photo taken with any celebrity.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Well, I mean, again, I want the picture so I can stand next to him and go, "Can you tell me about John?"
Yeah.
Like,
Well, yeah.
John,
I don't care if you take the photo or not. Here's $70. Let's talk about One Too Many.
Give me 45 seconds. We got it.
He's in line with a lot of these people who I've never heard of before. But Gina Gershon's $85.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then-
Those all seem like
Righteous
reasonable
bucks.
prices to me.
It does? I
Not
can't
reasonable.
imagine giving someone $85 to get a
That's-
picture taken with them.
That's like the standard. Okay, reasonable is the wrong word, but that is the standard at these sort of horror conventions. That is very
that's
normal.
low. Like at Comic-Con, I know I brought my kid there a couple times, and it's like $100-$200 to do a photo.
For people you've heard of.
Yeah,
Who've been in things that you enjoy.
right.
Okay.
Yes.
I feel like it was like, I don't know, maybe 10-ish years ago, Ron Jeremy was at ChillerCon, and I feel like he was charging $50 at that point.
To what? Get a photo or just jerk off on your face?
I mean, yeah, I assume that. A little bit of both.
You can get the entire cast of Too Close for Comfort for $190.
Jesus Christ. It's so sad.
What do
Oh,
you
Shuli,
want?
Thanks for joining us.
I don't know what the hell happened. I got kicked off my own show. This is crazy. Hi. How's everybody?
Calls, you said. Calls.
All right, here we go. This one is called 140 a day.
But the funny thing to me is that it, like, okay, so that's your big, we got him. He's teaching. And I said, I don't know, I guess you're working out and you might be in the show, but I'm like, look, fucking, dumbass, you're not hurting me. Because, kid, I'll tell you, I told him that next Wednesday is my last day because the pay is abominable. I mean, even with a 4-year degree, I'm getting paid $140 a day. Fuck that.
Like in one instance, this is what life's all about. 140 a day? Fuck the love him. There's the Duke's Domain.
This one's my favorite, Shuli. It's so good.
All right, hold on.
You told me Christmas Eve you were free.
No, I said I might be free. I might be free.
What a shame. Could you be my brother? Kate, you be in the Duke's Domain. You would love everyone of my family. You would, oh, God. How much you would adore the whole, sensibility. And then you realize, why the Duke is the Duke's. What a shame.
What a shame.
What kind of sales pitch was that? What's going on? So in John's mind, he's worshipped by his family members. He's the celebrity of the family, and he wants her to witness him being worshipped by his family. That's the only thing he could be saying there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because his family's a bunch of fucking duds. Let's face it. No one's excited to meet what's her name? Joyce. Yeah, I was going to say Royce.
Like, where's that a selling point? Who is that a selling point to? Like, even your own family doesn't want to be there and be around your other family. You're going to bring this 25-year-old girl you're trying to bang to meet your mom and your brother and
Christmas Eve of all times, too.
That's the weirdest part about that to me is that I feel like, when you're like a teenager, when you're in like your early 20s, you're like, oh, I'm going to bring this girl back to meet my family. Like at some point that becomes like hack. Like, why would you do that? Why is that the thing that you are excited to do with a girl? Like, never. That's insane. I would
It's
be
not
like, no,
to
thank
impress
you.
her.
No.
It's to impress his family.
I know.
Right.
Very true.
Ugh.
Yes. Very true. He's I just want to show you off. One of those.
I look tall compared to these people. You're going to love it.
Oh, man.
Joyce, come stand next to me.
I need you. Get over here. All right. So this We saved the creepiest for last. This track's called "Kate, You Beautiful Woman."
Hey, listen, you're hot. Never think that you're not. And if the Duke thinks you're hot, then the Duke has very high
And guess
expectations.
what?
You are.
I gotta do my fucking hair tomorrow.
No, you do not. Kate,
Did I show up as a rag doll?
Kate, listen, I'm gonna tell you something right now. The more I talk to you, you're a beautiful woman inside. More, and the outside is beautiful, but you are a true beautiful woman.
You think I'm a beautiful woman on the inside?
Yes.
I'll
I
find
think
out
you
when my
love
face is
and
down
care
there.
about the same people I do. And I will fight for the same people. So I look forward to meeting you. Good night.
But I feel like we already know each other. That's the crazy thing.
he already called it.
That's wild, isn't it?
It is, Kate. It is.
He's like, when we meet, I want to see if you're a beautiful woman on the inside.
I love
The
it.
beautiful woman on the inside combined with him insulting her chin and then be like,
Right.
oh, it's okay. I don't mind your chin. Like, that's amazing. Oh,
And his
It's
hang up is
astonishing.
great because you just hear him leaning, and then he's like, "Good night," and you know that button hit, and she's talking. I feel like we've known each. Hello. My favorite part is when she realizes he passed out and hung up. She just goes, "Woo!" She's like, she is
Now,
fun.
what's great about these calls is remember, John thinks that Kate's the one with the substance abuse problem. If you're just listening back to this, you're going, oh, actually sounds like the guy's got the problem on this one. I don't know. Maybe someone should call his mom.
Yeah. Yeah, your sponsor sounds a little fucked up.
Yeah, right. I'm trying to get your daughter help. I think she's got a real problem.
Yeah. I'm worried about her.
She was going to get a 1-month chip, but I sold it at the bar.
Request all photos be taken back to back, says Diablo.
that's good.
That's
Yeah,
pretty
yep.
good. That's good. Lucy with the London, Ontario reference. Nice.
there's probably other Londons too.
Chris in
Yeah.
Canada.
Yeah. I feel like I could throw Lucy the last bang of my life and happily retire my sexual career. I'm 41. It would only take about 25 seconds. I miss for life. Rick from New York.
Please do not retire because of me.
Right. Right.
Shout out to Rick from NY. And yeah, it's not like doing coke. You're not like, all right, this is my last one. And then I'm too old for this shit. That's not how sex works.
Hey, Kaylee, love you on Patreon.
Thank you so much. Patreon, Once Over with Kaylee, Popsicle Reviews. There's a very saucy purple object that thrusts and vibrates review coming up soon.
Frog, how come you don't do popsicle reviews on our Patreon? What the fuck?
You should.
Another
hit
thing,
them with a fork
another
and a
thing you
knife.
steal from us.
Yeah. Just to see Frog do popsicle reviews, I'd steal it in a second. Only Lucy could look so good with more clothes on. Well,
Oh,
look at
thank you.
that. All the compliments coming out. Stuttering John would sell 0.0 Chiller Con autographs without us.
Yeah.
That is the consensus. Lucy, can you take off the glasses and shake your hair out, preferably in slow motion?
Maybe on the Patreon.
There you go. Go sign up for a Patreon.
Yeah, you should
Oh,
do
look,
a
she's an
night-
ugly nerd. Oh, what?
Wow.
Oh my God, what happened?
Yeah, you should do a 90s rom-com makeover.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah.
I'll come
Yeah.
down the staircase. It'll be wonderful.
Or hear me out. Do the thing where you're like in Daisy Dukes with the hood up, like you're fixing a car, and they see you from the back, and then you turn around, you knock some teeth out, you put some sores on your
Yeah.
face. Boom. You give
That'll
them that
be
one.
great. That'll
Yeah.
be great.
Shuli has the
stop
worst advice ever.
I know. I was just thinking, why am I doing this
Oh.
right now?
Sorry, I couldn't think of better ways to make guys come, Karl. Just do
That's
it.
my department.
Yeah, just fucking do it. You're a flaming just do this. Do it. Did anybody?
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck it. That's it. Hellraiser 69. Fuck that one up.
They're all gone.
I know. Thank you for the $5, Hellraiser. Aku, I wonder if this tour will be a repeat of Vince Champ, which not only the charges would fit SJ's motive of not being original. Frog, please look it up. No need. We're well familiar with Vince Champ's. You familiar with that comedian and his history?
I am not.
Oh, Vince Champ was a comedian who just happened to tour in cities where young women were being assaulted.
Oh, I do know about this. Yes.
And then somebody put together his touring schedule and the crimes, and Vince Champ.
We covered this on the Creep Off. Yeah. So you just reminded me of that.
So they're saying he'll be the next Vince Champ, and it's hacky enough. He's not original. So
right.
Vince, yeah. Let me pull them to the side, Kaylee.
Oh,
right. Jesus Christ, getting aggressive. My mom just went to the ER with heart trouble. Could you all speed it up so I can get there in case she croaks? Cock meat sandwiches. Yes, we will.
Godspeed, Wes.
How did Frog edit out me screaming at him, "She's recording you"? Locks and Docs with a $10 super sticker. Thank you, Locks. Thank you, Docs. Just got my Hackamania ticket. 50-50 chance I hook up with Lucy now that John taught me how to score with younger broads. Skol.
Yes, Hackamania.com. Listen, there's a lot of promo codes floating around in the Dabbleverse.
There's only one you need. There's only one.
You can't save more money than with WATP. When you use that promo code, Hackamania.com, we'll be live. You have a comment on that, Lucy?
Yeah, I was just going to say, if you're thinking that maybe you could hook up with me, then, there's also promo code Kaylee.
Wow.
That would be
I will
impressive.
fuck any guy who uses WATP.
Clip
Just
it.
come out and say it.
So much more definitive. I appreciate
Hackamania.com, May 9th through 11th. We will be in Las Vegas, Nevada. It's live podcasts.
Looks like I see Ricado's been cleared.
Yes, Ricada has announced that he will be there.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing better than somebody who has to be sober coming to Vegas to hang out. I remember they had an AA convention where the Mandalay Bay is. Where it used to be the Hacienda Hotel. I used to work at this hotel, and I remember they had an AA convention in Vegas, which I was like, that's insane. That's a lot of trust. A lot of trust.
It's dumb.
Yeah. Why didn't John just come back to Stevie's? That's a great question.
Yeah.
He's 5 minutes from there, maybe less.
I didn't want to get a DUI.
Right. Dewey.
That was his excuse for leaving when he left, which was hilarious. Everyone pointed out, you can just stop drinking and just hang out for a minute.
Another way to avoid a DUI is not go to a bar every single day for 3 hours.
That's crazy talk. What do you mean?
And he takes Uber a lot when he's there anyway, so it's not.
And I was driving.
Right.
Oh, sorry.
Hold on. Where does it go? Oh, I refuse to spend any money on SJ, but how much for a pic with the puppet?
Oh,
no.
Free
75.
Free charge. Book me at ChillerCon. I'll Jew everybody out of that place. Let me tell you something. $750. Get a picture with the puppet.
I love the disclaimer on their website that says, ChillerCon does not set the prices. If someone tells you, that's what scumbags these has-beens are at this thing. If someone tells you that we have to charge that much because of us, they're lying. Don't believe it.
Yeah, the guy from Phantasm's like, it's not me, it's them, dude.
Yeah, you know that a lot of people have said that too. Fucking Ticketmaster screwing you over. It's $200 in the front row. Not my decision.
Don, when are you performing in London?
Oh, hey, Christopher. Anyone in the London, Ontario area next Wednesday between 6:17 p.m. and 6:26 p.m. I'll be at the Firehouse, Ladder 69. Stop by for some comedy and some pole sliding.
Pole sliding. Make this face in your pick with STDJ. Yeah, that's not bad. Little Paul Heyman. Will Lucy be in Boston? I will wear my shirt of the Mayhem singer Dead. Maybe it will score some points.
It will score points. And
Lucy, you coming to Boston?
Yeah. Is this my official invite? Because yes, I'll be there.
June 21st, save the date. Tickets are going to go on sale this week. WATP live at the City Winery with the Dick Show. Dick's final live show, probably forever, because he's starting a family like a dummy.
Oh, yeah. This is great.
Somebody's
I love
got
this.
to do it.
I love that. Like he thinks he's not going to want to get out of that fucking house once this family starts. Last show, my balls. I remember, Mike. You remember us on Sirius XM on Miserable Men? Me going, yeah, man, I'm going to quit smoking weed when this kid's born.
No more video games, man. I got to be a responsible parent.
Let me tell you how crazy it was. My wife at one point says, "You don't even have to worry about changing diapers. I'll take care of that." And I'm sitting here bragging to Mike. I'm going. She said I'm off the hook for diapers. And Mike's like, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. And, oh, boy. Yeah, last show, my balls. Wait, Brett Favre came back, okay, after a year.
Shuli, trying to sell the show. Except on the island, please.
Oh, I'm sure it's great.
Well, but for Dick, it's real.
Yeah. No, Dick found it's going to work. Fidget fan with $1. Thank you, Fidget. Okay. So we talked a little bit at the beginning about, Point DabblePoint. We've always been discussing the world of John. Yeah. Well, John's on strict mommy orders to not, be out there and be participating.
He wants to so bad. He wants to respond to this stuff. It's killing him.
Yeah.
That he can't go online.
It's like a vampire that can't get into this. Like the victim is in the sun and he's trying to get
in. So he is definitely not doing as much as he normally would, but that's not going to stop us because there are other happenings in the Dabbleverse that we should cover. Here at TSN, we don't really cover Opie, we don't really cover Steel Toe. I know Karl every once in a while do Brennan, but he doesn't do a regular thing on. So we figure let's bring all these worlds together, and let's go over some stuff.
Yeah, it's a perfect place for a weekly roundup of what's going on in the Dabbleverse because there's a lot going on and it's all over the place. So this is the one show that covers the Dabbleverse where we can all come together and talk about what we've been checking out the previous week.
Yes. So where do you want to start there, Karl?
I'm actually interested in the Kevin Brennan stuff that you have.
Okay. Well,
before we get to that, I do have something.
What is it?
Sorry, I don't know what that was.
Yeah,
Lenny's packages have arrived, so he has a laptop and webcam now.
Wow! All right, next package, vagina. We're gonna get that guy late. Not you, Lucy. You're one of the good ones.
I know. Well, he already thinks I have penis, not vagina, so we don't have to worry about that.
Sure.
We'll keep talking.
Whatever he wants in the box, we'll ship it. All right.
As far as the Brennan stuff goes, so I have a little package in here, and we're going to see more of this later tonight, but see if this reminds you of anyone. This is Brennan drunk at 2 a.m. streaming with Joey C. Does that remind you of anyone?
Yeah, it does. Let's see if it's that good.
Yeah, but I don't. Yeah, okay.
But I'm nobody. You're somebody. At least you had a career. I get that.
It's not that. But listen, people like you gotta watch Joey C. It's 2 a.m. and it's Easter Eve, and we're worried about you. I'm not gonna lie. The chat's worried about you.
How many Family Guys are on streaming at 2 a.m. Easter Eve, as Kevin calls it?
I'm hiding the eggs.
And he's loud as shit. So it's safe to say there's nobody there.
There's nobody there, right? He's out at 2 a.m. now? I had no idea this was going on.
Loaded drunk.
Oh, no.
How long was he on till?
I'll have to double check. Long enough to make almost $200.
Ooh,
wow.
Righteous bucks.
Wow. Hey, Kev, first of all, I got to say this. All bullshit aside. You are the one guy who makes no money doing a drinking show that I've ever seen. Everybody else drinking, the chat just shoots money over to him left and right. Kevin made $200 showed up shit-faced from what I heard. He was already drunk when the show started.
At what point do people start sending him filet-o-fish sandwiches he has to eat in order to make some money? He's almost there, right?
It's coming. Yeah. Mr. Kill Everything is this is beneath him. Yeah. I hate to say it.
Is Mr. Kill Everything more sober than KB on this one? Is that possible?
I believe he has quit drinking. Again, more of this in the package tonight, but he's over. I'm really invested in the Mr. Kill Everything story. He's over Mazzy, and he has quit drinking. He's going to get his shit back together. He's working more hours at the mine.
Wow.
That's not a joke, by the way. He actually works at a mine.
Okay.
Wasn't he a welder?
Yeah, at a mine, apparently.
Oh, do you need welders at a mine? I didn't know that. I don't know a lot of things, though.
Yeah. Hey, miss, let us men handle this, okay? Yes, you need welders at a mine, okay? I happen to have watched all 16 seasons of Gold Rush. I think I know a thing or two about a mine. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, I like Chad a lot. I don't know why he decided not to talk to me. Nothing wrong with the man.
The chat.
Oh, Chad, but I'm saying Chad Zumach. I like when I met him. I really think he's a good guy. I always talk right good about him, and he just drew me away. Like
I met Chad. I think he's a really good guy. Oh yeah, so does that girl he told to kill herself over and over again.
Well, and I love that Joey last week was like, "You'll never fucking see me on MLC ever over my dead body." 2 a.m. Link comes in. What's going on? He's on there hanging out.
He disregarded me, so I don't know why, but
Yeah, I heard Chad killed in Orlando this weekend.
He's a funny comedian. I saw him at side footage. He killed it, man. He's funny, man. Chad's funny.
I've never seen him.
I text Casey. He never answered back. He answered me earlier.
Casey.
So the full transition to John is complete. Now he's doing drunk shows with Joey C at 3 in the morning,
and a buddy, just a random guy.
Right.
Yeah.
He's I love him.
I love him.
He's a weirdo when it comes to shit. He'll only go on at a certain time. He's OCD, Joey.
It is.
We're all OCD.
I'm not OCD at all.
Really?
Is the guy that runs the Super Tips.
Who, Melton?
Yeah.
Why are they fucking with you?
They've been fucking me since day one when I used to come on your show.
I know, but Melton, you acted like Melton was your pal. You're going to use the Super Tips.
I don't. Melton and I come to an agreement. He gave me Super Tips. I love it. We make money with it. And I don't bother Melton.
Okay, but you just said he's going up against you.
He definitely, they all emulate. You think Rocco don't? He wants to be Melton. That's his number one boy, Tookie. That's his number one boy.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's obvious.
I love Kevin. Yep. That puppet and fucking and Patrick, man. Oh, those two.
Mr. Kill Everything is like, I really could use a drink.
Mr. Kill Everything's like a guy not on drugs at a fish show.
Yeah.
He's like, this sucks.
Yeah.
This
Dude,
sucks.
I hate that I know everything they're talking about right now. What happened to my life? I'm sitting there following all of this.
Yeah, I'm proud to say I'm out of the Tookie NLO loop relationship. I know they're pals, but other than that, I don't know what's going on with Joey and those guys. And
I have a little package.
Oh. This is the best
one. That was taken out of context.
Sure. The Fenton. Yeah. I think about you every night.
I only draw pictures of bad teeth. That's how I'm.
Whoa.
Wow. Shots fired.
Jesus. I knew I didn't like that guy.
Wow. You called it. Hey, apologize.
TG is here.
Fine. Don't you find it funny that all these guys, I'm the GOAT. All they do is talk about me.
I find it funny, and also sometimes I find it. I feel bad for them sometimes.
Yeah.
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 Well done. That's great.
So we'll be watching the drunk Brennan footage later tonight. Wow. She'll put that back up. Look at the skin on him.
He's an old man.
Yeah, but that's like when you're trying to make up an actor to be like 98 years old, but they're not that good at it. And they just like put cellophane around his hands and shit.
Yeah, it's like he held a door open in Chernobyl or something. You know what I mean? Like something happened there.
That ain't right.
Anyone. So that's a little KB update for you. Up late last night. He's doing 2 shows every day now. One in the afternoon, usually one in the evening, or maybe early afternoon. But yeah, he's Kevin.
One at 3 a.m.
And on the weekends, 3 a.m, Easter Eve.
I assume because he's podcasting so much, his numbers are going up, right? He's getting a lot more viewers and a lot more.
Yeah, that's a negative on that.
Oh, it's just the opposite.
It's
apparently streaming and then deleting your show immediately afterward negatively affects your growth.
I know you can't find all of these idiots. You can't find any of their shows. Chad Zumach and Kevin Brennan, they all just immediately delete all of their shit. It's like you realize that when people search for you in the YouTube algorithm, the other shows making fun of you are the ones that show up. It's not a good business model.
And you're saying, hey, watch what you just watched and pay extra for it. You're not giving them anything new. You're not giving them anything members only where they get their money's worth. It's literally just access to what you watch that day. And I get it. Not everybody can watch live, but at least give them something. One bonus show a month. I say you got to do it a week.
Yeah, but then he couldn't do super chats though. What would be the point of that?
Well, that's the commitment, right? Yeah. It's like, am I believing in the audience to buy these memberships and support us that way, or is this a cash grab and I just need it right now? Give it to me because you're gonna leave one day. I'm gonna leave one day. Who the fuck cares? This is just a racket to begin with.
Kevin's got to be in a good mood today, though, right? Today is the 21st. Payday. This is the day that Kevin is really feeling all of his feels. And he's like, fuck you. I make the most money in the Dabbleverse. I'm killing it. I'm doing the best. And then that slowly wears down. And he starts complaining about money and taxes. He doesn't have anybody on. He doesn't want to pay anyone. And then the 21st, it's like, I'm killing it.
Well, I thought you meant that the Pope died, so he'd do some really stupid comment on Twitter and get in the news.
Oh, right. Good TMZ again.
Yeah.
Now, I heard that, Aaron from Steel Toe went on MLC last week or the week before or whatever, and that Kevin never paid him for his appearance, and that Keanu had been on and never paid her. So now the guy who used to brag and throw in everybody's face that he's the only one who pays guests is now not paying guests across the board, or is it a selective thing? Do you know?
Well, you got to pay Stevie Lou. You got to pay the talent.
That's
obviously, true. Right. So, if you have one-offs with Steel Toe or Kiki, whatever, it doesn't matter if they ever come back again. But the guys who really brought you there.
Yeah, he knows where his bread's buttered.
You got to take care of them.
Gotcha.
I don't even know who's on the show. I haven't watched MLC in a while. So is Chad still a regular on that show? Have they had a falling out again yet?
Good question. Is Chad on MLC a lot these days, or is he just doing his own thing now, Frog?
I don't see him on there a ton. I know he was trying to get the link today. I heard him on his show saying that he let Kevin know he was available, but Brennan didn't do a show yesterday and so far hasn't done one today. And
shit.
I'm not going to show the Playboard charts, but just because Karl brought up how happy Kevin is today, he may be happy about getting paid, but when he looks at Playboard and sees that we beat him for last month, he's not going to be as happy.
Well, it's going to look silly when he puts that foam finger up, and he's actually number 2, not number 1.
Well, actually, he was number 42.
Oh, that's what I meant. 42.
You need a lot more fingers.
We need a lot more foam here. So, yeah, that is the Kevin Brennan update for you guys.
Someone in the chat saying that Gino and Keanu are on MLC.
Of course. Why wouldn't they?
Okay. Well, because I don't know if you know this, but MLC devoted the show to hating on Gino for about a year and a half.
Yeah. Oh, I remember.
About 18 months. It was nothing but Gino hate.
Not to mention his wife.
Well, of course, yeah.
Yeah. Calling her all kinds of names and
revenge porn,
releasing
I believe
her
was
photos, right? Her nude photos. But hey, man, all water under the bridge. These
of all the
phonies.
wild things that have happened in the last couple of weeks, that's got to be the weirder, one of the weirder things.
It's just,
I have to say, when Howard Stern, I lost it with him when he made up with Rosie O'Donnell. And he's friends with Rosie again. You're like, oh, so there's no credibility here. What are we talking about? I gave a pass on Chevy Chase, but Rosie, I'm like, what are we talking about? This whole thing where Kevin gets his audience to fucking hate someone. You really got to hate Chad Zumach. You really got to hate Bob Levy. You really got to hate. And then it's like, oh, they're back on the show again.
Of course.
And you see in the chat, everyone's confused. Like, what the fuck is going on?
Of course. And it's insulting to the audience because they're sitting there supporting you in this fight for all these months, having your back. And then somebody goes, I'll give you $100 to send this person the link. And you're like, Yeah, fuck all you guys for giving me thousands all these months.
Right.
I'll take $100 and fuck myself for 100 quick bucks. So stupid. And then who are you going to lecture? What are you going to lecture me about now, Gino? Keanu, go get the vaccine while you're at it. You fucking stand for nothing. Nothing. The both of you go fuck yourself. There. Yeah, go get the fucking booster. You're all full of shit. All of you. Go fuck yourself. Fucking dummies. What do we got here? Pole sliding, you say? London, Ontario, you say? Wednesday? Asking for a friend. The great Donna G. Hello, Donna. Eric.
Oh,
why
Donna.
Why has Don been sounding lispy? Sounds a bit
toothless.
Do it. Oh, hey, Don. Two things that are not
That's
hard.
a silly super chat.
One, call an Uber, or two, sit at a bar for a few hours and have one beer. One beer. What a loser.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as one beer for John. Come on. Skeptical Robot, new episode Friday. Skeptical Robot, new episode Friday. The great Luigi. Love us some Luigi around here. Yeah. We get it. John stinks. What we need is more bricks and cinder blocks going to Perry Caravello. We also demand more Lenny. Lenny. If you just tuned in, he's got equipment now. And that should be a fun month of trying to get him to set that up. And then once it's set up, you'll have more Lenny. Woody from Syracuse. Hello, fellow dabblers. That WrestleMania main event was meh. Hey, Lucy, I'm coming to Rochester May 6th. You still doing movie night at Fatty Beer that night?
I will not be doing a movie night that night, but I will probably be there hanging out. So hopefully I'll see you.
There you go.
There you are.
Shuli, sober guy at a fish show. This sucks. Thank you, Gary. John doesn't have an agent, right? Well, he does. It sounds a lot like John if he's holding his nose. That's his agent.
Don Melendez.
Well, I know for a fact he emailed a place that I'm friendly with as an agent. And then, and then when the place asked a follow-up question, he replied as himself. He was no longer the agent. It was great. TSN breaking business news. Lucan Coffee down 1.77% today.
No.
Jim Cramer calls SJ a loser.
That's too bad.
That sucks.
Cosmo
Ozone.
would call him a loser.
Yeah. Ozone. You guys went after KB for attacking producer Joe's wife, but Rocco did the same thing this weekend. Thoughts? Maybe you missed it. Yeah, I did miss it. I haven't seen it. So unfortunately, Ozone, I won't take your word for it until I see the clip. But if it did happen, I think it's a shitty thing to do. But, that's just me.
It doesn't strike me as something that Rocco would do.
I don't think so.
But
yeah,
I haven't seen it.
So. Holy crap, Lucy, you are a good-looking woman. What's with that thick face paint?
Thank you, I think.
Yeah, it is great.
Well, the old joke, why do women wear perfume and makeup? Because they stink and they're ugly.
There you go. There you go. So somebody's family left after Easter, huh? I do not follow anything Opie related.
Oh, okay. Well, I have some stuff for us today.
Okay, let's get in.
I want to share. He had a really big show on Friday morning. He was flying to Atlanta because his nephew's getting married. He's complaining about it all week that his nephew's getting married on Easter weekend. And so his family couldn't go. His mom had to stay back and get Easter ready for the kids. And so Opie went to represent the family and go to the nephew's wedding. And it's down in Atlanta, and he's got a buddy down there he went to college with, Buzzy. And Buzzy's doing very well for himself. He's got a nice place. So Opie's going to stay with Buzzy. Buzzy goes and picks him up from the airport, drives him back to his house, and they decide to do a podcast. And something I discovered while we were reviewing the show, because I didn't pick up on it when I was pulling the clips, is that they're outside in front of Buzzy's pool, and yet for whatever reason, Opie brought his ring light. Opie thought the ring light was going to have some type of effect on natural light, a.k.a. the sun. Very important thing to set up when you're doing an outdoor podcast.
Wow, he's an idiot, huh?
Yeah,
he's not bright. He's a radio guy. He doesn't understand lighting. He doesn't understand how cameras work.
You don't have to be a radio guy to know that the sun is going to be a little brighter than a ring light.
Yeah. Because he goes, can we turn that down? He's like,
Yeah.
can we turn that down a little bit, guys?
Right, yeah.
Yeah, I need about 30% off the sun, please.
If you buy your lighting at Target, it can compete with the sun. That's a pretty easy rule. Is there any way you can share my video that I have down there?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
To go to a
So
family
pause it real quick, or I can
pool
pause.
party.
Do I have control? Okay, good.
Yeah, you got it.
All right. So let me just set this up because we talked about this episode on WATP this week. Anthony actually tweeted out this was a great episode and linked to it. So it has more views than anything Opie has done in years. Thousands and thousands of views on this episode because Anthony gave it a ringing endorsement.
That fucking Anthony's a genius.
It's hilarious. It's so great. And so we didn't cover this on WATP, but I saw Blind Mike talking about it. What Opie's talking about here is he's got this aunt who drives him crazy. And so because of this aunt, he can't enjoy his family and family functions. He tells two stories here. And we'll go through it. We can pause it wherever. But it's just an interesting glimpse into the mindset of Greg Opie Hughes.
I like it. Let's
I escaped to go to a family pool party. And most of my family, who I'll see this weekend at this wedding, they were all cool. But I had an aunt. She goes, come here. And I'm like, she was always a pain in the ass. But I'm like, I think she's going to show some empathy because I just lost my whole career. I think she's got, come here.
This is after they were fired from WNEW, the Sex for Sam scandal.
Oh, okay.
So they're off the air for 2 years, but being paid well for the 2 years. But this is what he's talking about, this time frame.
I'm just going to say, stop for a second. I'm just going to say it. They could use a ring light.
Yeah,
I know. True. That's the funny part about this. I realized they have a ring light because he holds something up that reflects back at some point, and yet, their faces are completely dark. They couldn't find, but he had to show off the pool, I think. So they.
Why are you at the bottom, Lucy? Nobody wants to see me. Go ahead.
There we go.
I'll tell you something. I go, yeah, what? She goes, thank God your grandma's not alive to see this. I'm like, oh, all right. Well, pool party over, Dad.
Yeah. Wow.
I'm leaving.
So the aunt makes a shitty comment, and he has to leave.
Yeah, what a baby.
This big family event and their pool party, and the aunt says something shitty, and he goes, I'm out of here. I can't be here anymore. Bye, Dad.
Dude, we've all been in situations like that. Weddings, birthday parties, whatever. A family member, a gathering where a family member pisses you off. And you know what you do? At the end, when you drive home with your significant other, you let all that shit out. You fucking talk about it. You vent. You curse that motherfucker out, and then you get home and you get on with your night.
Yeah, Aunt Donna's a fucking bitch, isn't she?
Yeah.
Oh my God, can you believe what she said to me? Like, that's fun. That's the fun part of it.
Right.
I have to say, like, ring light aside or lack of ring light aside, this is probably the best that Opie has looked in a while. You can't see the purple
you can't
lips.
See him. Yeah.
You can't. Yeah, like he
has purple
not
lips.
That he looks good, but
his
doesn't
mouth
look like he's dying.
People think he's drinking red wine on his morning streams because his mouth is so dark.
Wow.
Purple lips. Purple lips.
That's for you, Kate.
He looks like people have compared him to the Penguin, the Danny DeVito's version of the Penguin. A very black mouth.
Christ.
And by the way, when you comment on that in the chat, it triggers him. He does not like that. So do not talk about his.
Well, tell Aunt Debbie to mention it.
Yeah.
She would always make me leave parties because she had some weird jealousy because I had the fame and stuff, but I downplayed it in my regular life with family and friends. You know that.
So the aunt's jealous because of his fame is what's going on.
This is a John rap right here.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, hey, man, the good comes with the bad when you're a star like me,
Right. And the opposite of downplaying your fame is leaving a party when somebody makes fun of it.
Or gives their opinion that you don't agree with.
Yeah.
I've never been famous, and I've had shitty family members, so it might have nothing to do with the fame part, but who knows?
I know. I've met Grant. Yeah.
Downplayed as much as I could, but it couldn't be held. People knew what I did, and it was working pretty well. And another party I went to, I had a plate of food. Had barbecue, chicken. I had potato salad, everything. I had a perfect plate. You know when you have that perfect plate at a barbecue?
I loved Blind Mike was talking about this segment, and he's like, Opie thinks everything is content. He milks everything. He's like, oh my God, let me tell you what was on my plate. I had ribs and chicken and potato salad. Like, whatever. What happened? Get to the point.
I'm trying to think of a time where I ever told a story where I painted a picture of what was on my plate. Telling this story, roast beef, mashed potatoes. I've never taken food that seriously.
The burger was a little overcooked, but it was fine. There were a lot of condiments.
A sesame seed bun.
And she, once again, my dad is sitting there at the end of his life, basically. He only has a couple more years left at this point.
So this is
At
really
the end
funny.
of his life, he has 2 years left.
Right, because he's only got a couple of years left of his life, and you would think that like he's actively dying, like he has something. Opie's dad died in a car accident, so it's not like they're all going on. Let's do this for Pops. He's not going to be around much longer. I'm probably going to cut his brakes at some point.
Well, now we know if any of you die in 2027, you're at the end of your life right now.
That's true.
Yep,
clock's ticking.
And he was really happy when I would come around because I was really busy. So when I came around, it just filled his heart with love. He liked having me around.
All right, that's an important part of this. His dad was really happy that Opie was around, and they're at this barbecue, and Opie's there, and it's really important for his dad to see his son. Okay?
Got it.
So I'm like, yeah, I'll go. I have my perfect plate of barbecue. Once again, she goes, come here. She goes, with all the money you make, you'd think you'd get a haircut. Oh, my God. Because I was literally growing my hair because it was the thing to do, and it looked all right. I didn't have to.
She made a comment about his hair being long.
Right.
I can't tell you, anytime I go to a family function where I see family members I haven't seen in a while, they always comment on your appearance.
Right.
Yeah.
It's kind of just like a break the ice kind of thing to do. But this was the craziest thing. Opie couldn't handle this.
And here's a little suggestion for Opie. When she does this, don't go over.
Yeah, right. You know it's not going to be great.
Doesn't
you know it's
end
going to
well.
trigger you.
And if you're a multi-millionaire, and somebody goes, "Oh, you should get a haircut," you go, in my head, I'd be like, "I'm worth millions. Who gives a fuck
Yeah,
what
who
the
cares
idiot
what my hair
thinks?"
looks like?
Exactly. Go fuck yourself.
All right. I didn't have to have a real job, right? I don't even say anything to her. I take my plate like this. There's a garbage pail right next to her. I go, I dunked my perfect plate of barbecue in the garbage because she said in front of everybody. My dad was just sitting there like, oh God, this.
Yeah, at him, I imagine, not at the end.
Right. Opie's one making a scene out of this.
Yeah.
Wow. It's like a Real Housewives episode.
Yes.
I made sure everybody saw my food being thrown in the trash.
It wasn't even a normal. It was a perfect plate.
Perfect.
Right. You never seen a better plate of barbecue. It's crazy. You would do this.
Who can't just make another plate? Like that, just make another perfect plate.
No.
None of this.
He has to show everyone how upset he is with the aunt's comment about his long hair.
Yeah, here's how you handle it. You go, she says, you're a piece of shit. And you go, yeah, all right. And then you take a bite and then you go, what's that? Like somebody called you, and you walk over to the other part of the fucking backyard.
It's not difficult to navigate family dynamics. We all have to do it. We've all done it.
Everybody's got assholes in their family.
Right. But listen to how this thin-skinned bitch handles the situation.
Oh my God. I go, Dad, I'm out. And I had to leave that party too.
He left his dad's on his deathbed. And he had to leave the party because she goes, you can't afford a haircut? A snarky response back would have been appropriate for something like that.
And this is a guy who's in the studio with the fucking ball busters, of the universe. And
right. All these comics, co-hosts, everybody. That was the whole format of the show, was to break your fucking balls.
Right. Wow.
Yeah, so he can't take it, and he's proving that right there, where he has to make a big scene and show everyone how upset he is about the fact that his aunt, who he explains is jealous of him and wants to be more popular than him in the family. At some point, he's like, the family member who wants to be the most popular? And his buddy Buzzy's like, no. What do you mean popular? Popular in the family? What do you mean? Okay.
We have that? What?
Well, obviously, Opie's that's who he is.
Right.
He's putting it on her because she's trying to take him down a peg.
And no matter what your job is, no matter how popular you are, how famous you are, family family are the ones that get a pass, that can talk to you like they've been talking to you your whole life, that knew you before you were this thing. And so I feel like you have to be, you got to drop all that shit. And you're now with family. You're a brother. You're a son to this person. You're an uncle, a nephew, whatever the fuck it is. You're not Opie from O&A. And so the fact that he's like, you think I need a haircut? It's like this guy. Nobody would say that to me in the halls. How dare you tell me that?
This is a guy who works with Patrice O'Neal and Jim Norton, and he can't even handle a comment about his hair being long. But they always talk about that too. Like no one was able to rag on Opie because he'd throw a fit and he'd make it uncomfortable for everyone. And he'd be a little bitch about it. And not only did he do these things, he remembers it years later. Yes, even the family has to walk on Greg shells with them. And not only that, he's talking about it years later with his buddy on the stream as if the aunt's the problem.
Right.
And his buddies. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I bet his dad not only was pissed off at the behavior, but his dad was probably old school, not a young guy. Wasting that food. You take a big plate of delicious food, throw that right in the garbage. You those old school guys. The fuck you do? You know how much that costs to make?
Oh yeah. Yeah. My dad is happier with how much is left over than how good the meal is. Like that's what kind of super Jew he is. He goes, we can eat this the rest of the week. He's thrilled, you know. Joseph Collins, should I get a ring light for my hot sauce videos? Thank you, Karl, for showing me trying your hot sauce on WATP.
Hell yeah. Fantastic hot sauce, by the way. Too bad it's sold out.
Wow. Never to return again. That's how good it is.
Yep.
Great label, too.
Pretty good, yes. Discount down.
So, sounds like even the ant knew that Opie was the useless part of the O&A show. LT looks like Gianna Michaels. Real dirtbags, no.
For a long time, if you searched Gianna Michaels, I was the first result that came up. I don't know if that's still the case or not. But
Mike, check it out, please. Thank
fun. Yeah, definitely search that.
Blind Mike did this, but funny.
I know.
How dare you?
I don't have Casey Day on here.
Oh,
what am I supposed to do?
That shit show is not a fan.
Okay.
You need a haircut. Boom, roasted. Listen,
I have another video if you guys want to pop this one up.
Yeah, absolutely.
So this one, Stalin19 put this up today, and this is from this morning's Opie stream that he does every morning.
Okay.
And Opie had a big weekend because he went to his nephew's wedding that he was bitching about, and then he had to fly. He called it a red eye, but he said it was first thing in the morning, so he doesn't know what red eye means. So then he flew back to New York from Atlanta and had Easter with the family. So he's tired and cranky.
You mean he didn't land on Easter Sunday and go to the pub with his luggage straight from the airport?
Isn't that weird? He actually went home to his family.
Wow,
to be with them. For that. So there's that. He's got that going for him. But of course, people bring up that Anthony has announced Jim Norton will be on Anthony's show once a month.
Yep.
That was a fantastic episode. If you haven't checked out, download the app. Yeah. 77 ABC, 770 in New York. You can listen to it live Sunday nights, 8 to 11.
And it's on YouTube as well. They have a YouTube channel where they post Anthony's show as well. And one of the funniest humans out there, Nick DiPaolo, was on last night. And I love Nick, and he's fucking brilliant. And those two together are fucking home run.
And Nick slipped up and swore.
Yeah.
Time or two. It's tough doing radio nowadays. We've all been podcasting and streaming for so long.
Yeah, we've all been speaking like adults for so long. All right, let's get to this package.
Ant's got it down. But yeah, Stalin19 did a great job of pulling some clips. So if you want to pull that up on the screen, let's do it.
Anthony is doing a show once a month with Jimmy on WABC. Thoughts? Like zero thoughts. Dante, zero thoughts.
All right, that's a good place to start. Opie has zero thoughts. The two guys he used to do a show with, the reason why he's a success, the reason why he has that view out of his apartment, those two guys have teamed up and are on radio again. Zero thoughts. Nothing, no comments to make about it at all, which I would think if you wanted to have content for your show, you'd have a thought or two. Maybe a take.
And I don't think you need to like trash them or get into a thing. Just be like, look, I'm happy those guys are working together. Good for them.
No, it's going to be just the opposite. And it turns out he does have a thought or two. It turns out after saying he doesn't.
For that, it's something they should have done many, many years ago. You know, they had the chemistry at the end of the Opie and Anthony run, and they, you know, for whatever reason, they're both really stupid.
I gotta love that. It's like, what do you think about Jim with Anthony? I don't have anything to say about that except for they're fucking idiots.
Okay.
Some morons.
Yeah. If they weren't so stupid, they would have done this years ago. Other than that, I have no thoughts on this.
This is what Opie has always said. He's like, when Anthony got fired from Sirius, Jim should have left Sirius and worked with Anthony. Jim was under contract.
Right.
And Jim was getting paid by a corporation, and he had to pay his bills. He was living in, you know, he still does live in New York City. And Anthony went off and started his own company and started his own broadcast network and did that. They both did good things. And then Jim ended up in the morning show with Sam Roberts.
I love these guys that think it's a Jerry Maguire fucking movie. Like I'm just gonna grab my shit and walk out with you. It's like, nah, that ain't happening. You know, when Levy got let go over at Sirius for you know, minor thing of threatening to kill Howard.
Right.
When he was done with his time there, my Mike remembers he was like, "I'm gonna get the bandwidth," you know, and
all we need is a couple microphones and some bandwidth. That was
yeah. We're like, I think it's bandwidth, but whatever. And he was like, "You coming with me?" And you know, I got my first kid on the way. I mean, I got a steady gig with the news other than Miserable Men, and it's like, yeah, no, it's not happening. Not going. Why?
And so Opie has always said, like, these guys are idiots for not teaming up immediately after Anthony was fired. Meanwhile, they both have careers that continue to go on, and now they're teaming up, and it's special. And people are excited about, we don't get to see these two together that often. That's so cool.
Yep.
So Opie's completely wrong about this, but again, he doesn't have any thoughts at all.
Because they had chemistry, and they should have done something years ago when we still had a massive fan base, and they would have been insanely successful. But all these years later,
breaking news.
What's happening, Frog?
Everyone say hi.
Hey, Kevin!
I bet he's got some brilliant commentary about this show too.
I just went over, and here's what I heard. Oh,
wow.
That makes sense.
Good news is nothing's in his mouth, guys. He's not chewing or sucking on anything, so now's the time to watch.
they're finally doing it. Good for them. Good for them. But that's it. I don't live my life through Anthony or Jim Norton at all. Literally at all. Matter of fact, I haven't even thought of those guys until I turned this on. It's only when I turn this on I got to think about them because you guys think about them. And then
Opie thinks that's like this big W for him. Where he's like, I didn't even think about those guys. Yeah, but you'll always be associated with it. It's an Opie and Anthony show. You'll always be associated with those guys.
Yeah,
it's
and if you
all
don't,
he thinks about. It's
it
all he thinks about.
It has to be.
But also, if you don't want to talk about it, then when you say I have no thoughts on this, don't have any thoughts on it.
Right. It could have very easily been like, yeah, I don't know anything about that. All right, what else?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I was going to ask, does he actually know what the word thoughts means?
Dude, he's trying to both take the high road and make money off doing content about Anthony and Jim. He wants to do both because he's like high road Opie all the time. And then you go to his channel and he's got all these little video clips that's just like Anthony Cumia is the worst person in the world. Jim Norton can suck eggs. Like every title is with those guys' names in it.
And Karl, I think you pointed out those are the only videos that he has that are getting views.
Correct.
Like, it's very clear what is.
No one's looking for his take on Easter. No one's interested in that.
Are you sure?
How to make the perfect plate of food.
How to throw out the perfect plate of food.
Right. Yes. How to make a scene and make it all about you at your family gathering. Right.
I'm sorry to interrupt, Shuli, but Kevin and I have a whole thing going on. But here you go, Kevin. There it is. You are number 42 for last month.
There you go, buddy. 42. Congrats. Go ahead.
Uber yesterday morning. I forgot to say this. And the Uber driver recognized me right away. He's like, "You're Greg. You're Greg, as in Opie and Anthony." I'm like, "Yes, I am." Yeah.
Okay, so this is Stuttering John parallel right here.
I mean, ridiculous. First, okay, You're telling me an Uber driver picked him up in New York without an accent and recognized him from radio?
I think
Are you stuttering, John?
I think it's actually in Atlanta. I think he's talking about the ride to the airport. Is what he's talking about. So a guy in Atlanta, New York would make more sense. A guy in Atlanta picks him up and goes, "Oh, I know who you are. You're Opie from Opie and Anthony." Now he's going to explain why he knows who he is. Okay. And I might actually buy this story based on what this guy says.
Okay.
Hey, you're Greg, as in Opie and Anthony. I'm like, yes, I am. Yes, I am. And he goes, I discovered you. The kid's, what did he say? 27 years old. He goes, I discovered you during COVID. I went down a big, deep rabbit hole during COVID because of Patrice O'Neal. So I am listening to everything you guys have done. I'm like,
okay, that makes perfect sense. Yeah. If you're searching for Patrice O'Neal content, Opie and Anthony's going to be all over that.
Right.
No, I agree with that.
On YouTube. So this guy's a fan of comedy, as we're going to find out. And so a lot of the clips happen to be the comedians who are on the Opie and Anthony show.
Makes sense.
And what makes even more sense is what he's about to say.
Like, that's really cool. But, I'm still doing it. But, he has no idea.
So this guy's not watching those clips and being like, does he have a show still? Is there something on YouTube I can watch or something? He's going there to see like Greg Giraldo and Patrice and stuff. And then once he gets through that, he's just like, all right, what other comics are out there that I can watch?
Be great if Opie's like, then he turns to me and he's like, you should do something where you just go unleashed, Opie, and you just roam the streets, man.
We don't get to see enough of like raw footage of New York City and what it's really like there.
Yeah.
Especially the Upper West Side.
Right. Let's live through your eyes and the hell you have to deal with.
I'd love to know about your family, especially at reunions.
Yeah.
That I live stream every morning. He has no idea I have a podcast.
Why would he? No one is watching this. And Opie's just like, can you believe it? He knew who I was. He didn't know I have a live stream that's watched by 32 people at a time. Incredible.
Don't give a shit. It's not that he listened or watched this and decide he doesn't want to. He has no idea. This is what I'm up against. I'm literally competing against Opie and Anthony. It's absolutely insane and impossible, obviously.
Right.
But huge fan of Patrice O'Neal, huge fan of Shane Gillis. Not a fan really of Joe Rogan. Says Joe Rogan's comedy stinks.
No, there's no reason to put that in there. I was recognizing an Uber. Cool. Yeah, the guy says Joe Rogan fucking blows.
Let me tell you what show sounds great. The Uber driver reviewing comedy specials. Yes. That's a show I would
rather listen to.
Yeah.
But Opie loves taking shots at Joe Rogan because he doesn't understand Joe Rogan show and his popularity. He used to have Joe Rogan on Opie and Anthony all the time. And Voss was just on the show. He's going to talk about Voss in a minute. But Voss is just on the show, and Joe continues to give credit to Opie and Anthony,
right?
Especially Anthony, for the format of his show and why he does what he does.
Yeah, I think a lot of fans usually side with Ant and Jimmy, right?
Of course.
They
were the funny part of the show, yeah.
So I think Joe would fall into that camp, which wasn't there something where like Opie did some video years ago? Dude. Like, what was that? Something with Rogan?
So Rogan was coming to New York.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was a UFC event or something like that. And Opie was trying to get him on his show because he was doing Opie Radio at the time. I think he was working for Westwood One at the time. And he didn't have Joe's current phone number. So whatever he was messaging, Joe never got it.
Okay.
So Opie goes into the street and starts twirling around. Joe, what's up, Joe? Why aren't you getting back to me? I was telling you how much I like the show. I was giving you compliments. And then the best part is, 2 days later, Joe Rogan shows up on the Anthony Cumia show on Compound Media. And they're both looking at each other going, what was that? Oh, no. It was so great. It really signified the end of Opie as someone anyone cares about in broadcasting.
Wow.
It really proved that he's over. It's done. So he's been mad at Joe Rogan ever since.
What he just said is also really indicative of how sad his broadcasting career is. He said it was tragic. He said, this guy It's not like he heard my show and hated it. It's that he never even realized that I was currently doing these live streams.
Yep.
That's so sad. You shouldn't want that. I would prefer a million times for people to be listening and hating me and getting talked about for that than to have absolutely nothing.
Well, I think this burns him up inside.
Yeah.
And it's a real effort by the driver, because it's so hard not to find content from everybody involved in that whatever video you're watching. It just comes on your algorithm, and if you're at all interested, you just type in a name, and all of a sudden everything about that person is there.
Right. We've had a ton of people find WATP, but because they were watching Howard Stern videos.
Right. Right.
And then it's like, oh, you like that? Here's these guys talking about Stuttering John.
Yeah.
And you would think probably the same kind of thing would happen with the Opster.
Right. You would think.
But he's like, I'm not into the Joe Rogan like everybody else, but I really like Opie and Anthony. I've been digesting everything, especially with Patrice. He goes, Did you watch the Unmasked with Ron Bennington? I'm like, of course I did. It's amazing. Really, really good guy. And then as he's dropping me off,
oh, the guy who recognized him was a really, really good guy.
What are the odds?
I know. The same thing with Stuttering John, too. It's amazing. When someone recognizes him, they're really, really good. Cool dudes.
The Atlanta airport, he's like, hey, I got a question for you. I'm like, yeah. He goes, did you ever make up with Todd Pettengill? He goes, I'm a true fan. O&A Party Rock, blah, blah, blah. He goes, I saw a video that Todd Pettengill posted, and I wrote O&A Party Rock, and it was deleted immediately.
This is interesting right here. So on Jocktober, they used to every year go on and talk about Scott and Todd, Scott Shannon and Todd Pettengill.
Yep.
And they would be brutal to these two. And these two had a very highly rated show in New York City. Scott Shannon's a radio legend.
Yep.
Todd Pettingill's garbage, but whatever. He had people listening to his show. And recently, Opie has been criticizing me and anyone else who reviews clips of him because he's had a better career and what gives us the right. And meanwhile, he was doing all of this on Jocktober. He was making fun of Howard Stern on his show. He's making fun of bigger radio shows that had big ratings. But for some reason, like, it's against the rules for what we do.
Yeah.
Punching up, as he considers it, is not right for some reason.
What's the saying? And then they came for me.
Yes. So
Right.
now he's going to comment on why. So now he's going to try to justify why they were always A-logging Todd Pettengill.
Okay.
I said, I never met the guy. It's the greatest Jocktobers ever when we went after Todd Pettengill. And I explained to the guy, the one reason we went so hard at Todd Pettengill was the fact that he was doing a show with Scott Shannon, excuse me. And he belittled the guy and he dehumanized the guy and he made him feel.
He de what? Hold on, I got to hear that.
Dehumanized.
He did what?
He belittled the guy and he dehumanized the guy.
Dehumanized. It was human and he dehumanized the guy.
And he made him feel worthless right in front of his face. I go, aha! And that's why we made it hurt so much, Todd.
See, this is bullshit. This is revisionist history because they used to also mock Scott Shannon to the end of time.
Yeah.
Scott Shannon would say things like, "There's a tree on my house," and
I
want
to
like
see
a
the
battery
boat
car.
movie.
Yeah, I want to see the boat movie. Right? These are all things
Hilarious.
Scott Shannon said, and they would crush him for it. And now Opie, because after he left the show with Todd, Scott Shannon called into the Opie and Anthony show, and they had a blast with him. And they're like, "Oh, dude, you're great. It's so good to talk to you." So now Opie's pretending that all of this was happening all at the same time, that they were Team Scott Shannon and friends with the guy. And that's why they were making fun of Todd. Not the case at all. This is all lies, but he's trying to spin it that he wasn't doing the exact same thing that all of us are doing.
What a nothing spin. Like, what do you get from spinning it this way? Like, now this Uber guy is going to dig you or something? Like, what for what?
I mean, I wouldn't make fun of anyone, but Todd deserved it, man.
My hands were tied.
Right.
Have you been drinking this morning? Dude.
Oh, this pisses him off so much. As I was talking about earlier, where it looks like his mouth is darkened with maybe a red wine or something like that. He hates this.
Anthony's the drinker. I know what you're doing. Anthony's the drinker. Stop the gaslighting.
I'm going to throw my wine bottle in the garbage and leave.
Everything that Anthony is, they try to throw on me. Anthony's a very, very ugly man, so all of a sudden I'm ugly.
Way to take a shot without taking a shot.
Yeah.
Well, he weaved that in effortlessly, didn't he?
I'm going to take the high road and not get involved with this fugly motherfucker over here.
You guys just say I'm ugly because Anthony's ugly. Okay. If you say so.
Figured us out.
It's incredible.
Suddenly got blue lips. I know what you guys are doing. It's stupid. And I don't have blue lips with the new camera, so that's good. I like that at least. Did it feel strange around all those successful people when you don't have a job?
so his nephew is a brain surgeon, and he just got married. And so that's a very funny question. By the way, these are not super chats. He just pulls these up and reads them. People just fucking with him.
Yeah. Oh, you're in control of this. Yes. You know that, right? Like these aren't just being popped up on their own. You don't have to do it.
Right.
My favorite part of this is that he seems less upset about this question than the wine drinking question.
Right.
Like he does not seem bothered by that at all.
Do you feel strange with all those successful people when you don't have a job? And here's some cope coming from our buddy Opie, or maybe his Copey.
Oh.
JFK. Well, my nephew's a brain surgeon. His wife delivers babies, and there were certainly microsurgeons all over the place. But you know what, JFK? You want to know the God's honest truth? Celebrity always wins out. They all wanted to meet me.
Wow. This is a stuttering John. Would you rather be famous or have money? And I always said, I'd rather be famous than rich.
Stupid. It's I just picture him walking up to microsurgeons and brain surgeons and going, "You ever seen a more perfect plate of food?" And they're like, "What a fucking boob this guy is."
Yeah. But no, he was the belle of the ball. And actually, that's interesting that he says this about this wedding, going back to the aunt that he had a problem with at the barbecues. It seems like Opie needs to be the center of attention.
Oh, you
in
think?
The family. You think? He's just like, no, everyone wanted to meet me.
Yeah. You could have.
I'm a celebrity.
You could have just twirled out of that conversation with your aunt, walked around and put your plate down gently and Irish goodbye in a covert type of way, or say goodbye to some people because something came up. But no, instead he has to make a hole and slam the food down in the trash can and storm off.
Listen, you could even be douchey and just say, yeah, when you're famous like me, you don't need to get your hair cut. Right.
Yeah.
And then move on with the party, or you just say something nice like, no, I'm getting it cut. You don't have to be a complete bitch move. I mean, that's the bitchiest of bitch moves, is to dramatically boom and then leave.
But also this response to this question, there's so many ways he could have just been like, dude, whatever, I had my career, I'm fine. Right. Or whatever. Instead, he has to be like, no, I was actually the most popular person there, even though there were brain surgeons. I was more popular than them. It's like, really? This is your cope for this?
Yeah.
He's not famous anymore, Opie. I've seen the view counts on his videos. Unless Anthony tweets it, it's not getting a lot of views.
Yeah, if you say Opie, then some people remember Opie and Anthony. You say Greg Hughes, they go, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Right.
Yeah.
No brand recognition with Greg Hughes at all.
Oh, you saved a guy's life? I interviewed Shaq.
Right. It's funny you say that because when he was hanging out with his buddy Buzzy, whose name is Jeff, he even says at one point, he's like, he doesn't like to be called Buzzy anymore because that was like his frat nickname.
Mm-hmm.
So most adults like move on.
Right.
And Opie has claimed many times he hates that his name is Opie.
Right.
But he can't get away from it because that's the only. If he started Greg Hughes Radio YouTube channel, no one would even know it would exist.
Right.
Maybe more people would know it would exist. It would give him a fresh start.
Yeah, because it's dynamite content, Lucy. Right. He's definitely going to build up a new audience organically with this stuff. Right.
I recently was trying to explain the Dabbleverse to somebody, and I was explaining it. So I was like, okay, also, are you familiar with Opie and Anthony? And they were like, yeah. And I was like, okay, so Anthony this, Opie this. And they go, oh, well, it's good that you guys are chill with Anthony, and man, it's a good thing you guys aren't hanging out with Opie, and starts like dancing around like an idiot. And I was like, I
That's funny.
appreciate that you understand that Opie is the fuck up of the bunch.
That's hilarious.
Holy crap, you're the radio guy? I heard that all weekend long. So no, man, I was more than good. If you want to know the truth,
that's what Opie's tells. If you want to know the truth, he says this a lot. And anyone who says if you want to know the truth lies a lot.
Yeah,
and it's probably lying right now.
Yeah,
because it's a weird thing to say.
So no, man, I was more than good. If you want to know the truth, I was just proud to be at my nephew's wedding. He seemed very, very happy.
I wonder if he has a cheese plate to go with that coffee.
Right now, we have a mutual friend in LA. I don't know.
This guy's name is Wine Lips.
I didn't even see that.
He's just getting trolled. It's so funny.
Experience Wine Lips, and I don't like your name, so you're gone.
Oh, and he got blocked.
Wow.
Blocked. Wow. Hope he's been blocking a lot of people lately on his show.
You blocked a guy because his name is Wine Lips.
Goodbye, Wine Lips. Have a lovely time making a new fake account. All right. I love you. Voss was on Rogan recently, and he said you slowed down the show. No, any response? Well,
okay, so this is another thing that's such a parallel to Stuttering John, where people will feed him things that didn't happen just to get him to react to it. And Opie's so dumb that he does it every time.
Yeah.
Even though he knows people are lying to him, he can't help himself.
Yeah, I listened to Voss's appearance on Rogan. At no point did he take a shot at Opie.
No, why would you?
Right.
When Anthony and Jim did the radio show together, Opie wasn't brought up once. I think that kills him.
Yes.
I think that's way worse than them trashing Opie. It's just paying no mind to him at all.
And not to mention that Rogan is a lifelong O&A fan, so he knows Voss. You know,
they probably did the show together many times.
Right.
Yeah.
And Voss became Voss from that show. So how do you not bring it up?
Yep.
Well, it's easy. You just don't bring it up.
So this is great. What happens here is Opie's not sure if this is true or not, but it does not stop him from trashing Voss. He goes after Rich Voss so hard right here.
Well, I would like to know if that's a true statement. Right. I'll be honest with you. Rich Voss was.
I'll be honest with you. That's another
yeah,
one. If you want to know the truth about it, I'll be honest with you. Rich Voss was a
very, very hard to do radio with because he's a narcissist. He's.
That's the issue.
I love the guy who goes, Rich Voss said this thing. He's like, I don't know if that's true, but Rich Voss is a piece of shit.
As someone who's dissected a narcissist for 4 years now, I can tell you it's doable. It's workable. You can get a show out of it.
Yep.
A addict that never took care of his addiction. He just traded one addiction for another. And I think he's slow. I think he's slow.
Is he as dumb as Anthony and Norton?
Apparently, yeah. Everyone that Opie ever did radio with who's no longer his friend are all retards, apparently.
He's slow. Okay.
Yeah. How convenient.
And you want to talk about someone that really wrecked the flow of a show, it would be Rich Voss. You know, when Rich Voss knew his place, which was to just fire out his one-liners, he's really, really quick. He was really, really good at that. But when it came down to having a conversation, he sucked at it. And everyone knew he sucked at it.
I mean, this is ridiculous because, look, I got into O&A late. But some of my favorite segments and moments from that show, Voss was involved in. Whether it's Colin going after Voss in studio, whether it's Norton going after Voss, all of them going after each other. Not to mention him giving out his fucking password to his Twitter account.
That was fantastic.
Is one of the greatest radio moments ever.
Well, Shuli, let me just say this. Voss was on the show all of the time, and him and his wife were given a show on Sirius XM on Opie's channel, so they must have appreciated him. They must have thought he was doing a pretty good job, or he would have getting invited back.
I mean, it's just one phony after another in this fucking Dabble.
No shit. Yes. Wow. Now I don't like you, so you were never good.
Ugh.
Okay, if you say so.
There's so many examples of that all over the internet. But I don't even know.
Why are you searching those out? Why do you say that, LP?
Yeah.
That's an interesting thing to say. There's a lot of examples of Voss sucking at our show on the internet. Oh, what are you searching for on YouTube then?
He's putting together a reel. He's putting
Yeah.
together.
He said that because I don't watch the Joe Rogan. So, and I think he's also a terrible person because as soon as I lost a big seat, he couldn't give two shits about me.
This is something that Opie says all the time. He lost all these friends because he no longer had a radio show, so people stopped communicating with him or returning his texts or whatever it was. But it might be you were always a piece of shit and hard to deal with, and so they were happy to not have you in their lives anymore.
And
I don't know, just saying.
And it could also be that people just moved on with their life. You are not, the center of their fucking attention right now. The show's not available anymore. Guess what they got to do? Find another show, create their own show.
Honestly, Shuli, I understand what you're saying. You're trying to give them the benefit of the doubt. No, literally everyone who was associated with the Opie and Anthony show will not do Opie's show. Literally everyone.
Right.
Like he reaches out to them to do his show. They all either ignore him or turn him down because Opie is a mental patient. They can't deal with this asshole. They're so excited they don't have to deal with this asshole anymore. Jim Norton was the one who brought all the comedians on the show. The reason why the show was successful in the later years, the second half of their run, is because they had all these comedians on there busting balls like it was the table at the Comedy Cellar. And it was all because Jim Norton had all those connections with all those guys and brought them on.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as Opie, they don't have to deal with him anymore, they're like, good, I never want to deal with him again.
Yeah, I remember there was a thing where certain people Opie was paying when he had his own show, and then certain comics were not getting paid. And I think Voss was one of the ones that didn't get paid.
Correct.
And Bobby Kelly did, and Voss was pissed about that, and I don't blame him.
It was Sherrod Small, Vic Henley, I think Carl Ruiz. They're all getting $7.50 an episode.
Oh, right, that's what it was. Not
to
Bobby.
Do the afternoon show. Yeah.
And that's fucked up.
Stupid wife that blew off my wife for no reason, because I couldn't do anything.
Whoa! Now we're going after Bonnie McFarlane right here.
I can't fucking take it.
The great Bonnie McFarlane.
She's brilliant.
Anymore for the Vosses. So it's like, why would we hang out with Dab? He's a terrible person, if you want to know the truth.
If you want to know the truth.
Again, it'd be great to know the truth.
Yeah, someday.
Right. I don't think we've heard it yet.
I do want to talk about Kevin Brennan. He does respond to that. I know we got some super chats to catch up on. Yeah. Should we finish this up and then super chats? Okay.
Yeah.
And I can't say he wasn't good on Opie and Anthony, but he was only good when he knew his place. Really quick with the one-liners. One of the quickest. But when it came to putting two sentences together, when you're going to say when it comes to putting two sentences together, you got to say it properly if you're going to slam somebody. But when it came to putting a couple,
took him 2 times to say put sentences together.
Sucked at it. Absolutely sucked. And you know it to be true. Listen to him on the dumb podcast.
They never had a bit based on Voss fucking up a sentence.
It didn't turn into fodder when he mispronounced words and stumbled. Right.
They didn't have a wall of fame with all his fucked up quotes on the goddamn studio wall for them to read over. No, you're right.
If you want to know the truth.
Yeah. Him not being able to speak properly was a real bummer. Really bummed everybody out.
Yeah.
He tries to do is he continues to hustle out there all these years later, and you'll hear it for yourself. Voss was on Rogan, Vincent Scaramuzzo said. He struggled a bit, but pulled it off with a lot of help. Rogan was complimentary of you and Anthony as usual. Well, I appreciate that, Mr. Rogan.
Rogan sucks. Even my Uber driver agrees. Oh, he says something nice about me. Yeah, thanks, buddy.
Mr. Rogan, sincerest thank you. Now he's a Mr.
I do
Rogan.
appreciate
it's great.
Appreciate that about Mr. Rogan. Are you still a millionaire? I guess I don't look at the numbers, but I guess I.
He doesn't look at the numbers. He complains about his HOA payment. We just played the clips of that recently. He stopped buying parking. He had to park on the street because it was too much money. He's not looking at his numbers. He's looking at his numbers. Yeah. He's watching his bank account just quickly decline.
Yeah, I mean, If you don't know your numbers, you're not a millionaire.
Well, and look, I am not a millionaire. I know my numbers, and I am not a millionaire.
You're an Alabama millionaire.
I am, but can I just say this? I don't think a lot of millionaires worry about alternate side parking.
Right.
You know what I mean?
The street sweeper every Thursday morning. Right.
Yeah.
I agree.
I guess respected garbage. I guess if I continue getting the $1.99s, I will certainly continue being a millionaire. Keep sending him money to ask dumb questions, and he will be more than a millionaire. Thank you, D Saints, BK. Yes, exactly.
By the way, $1.99 at a time does not ever add up to $1 million. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
Exactly. All right, Sal. Did you think about Kevin Brennan's job offer? What was that again? I forgot. What was his job offer? I literally forgot.
Okay, so the job offer that he threw out there that Opie's commented on before is $1,000 to come on Monday's MLC and make fun of Anthony's WABC show from the night before. Okay,
not with that total I see for his last month. Kevin's going to be paying.
I doubt it too.
Well, just in case you're wondering if he saw that and it bothered him, this is what he's up to right now.
Oh, again. he loves.
Kevin, listen. This is not her fault.
Yeah, that's true.
That is not her fault. That's on you, brother.
Kevin doesn't have a guest on today. It's just him writing solo. Is he?
Well, yeah. Then he can pay himself. And not
all right.
else.
Yeah, it sounds like he's.
I think the
not
days
making a lot of money
of paid guests are bye.
Okay,
my guess.
What did he offer me? I don't know. Leo Gunn, $2. KB offered $1,000 per week. Still not too shabby. Oh yeah, I know, but. You know, these people are obsessed with the Anthony thing. I'm trying to be less about that. So if I took KB's offer and
good instincts, Opie.
Yeah. You know what? Read free super chats and make no money. Read free chats. Yeah.
Real good instincts on that one.
And you know, because he wants to trash Anthony every week. You know, the $1,000 a week would be lovely. Oh my God, I'm not going to lie to you, it'd be lovely. But I just don't want to do that. You know,
can I say something here? Can I just look? Regardless of what you think of Opie, you know, the guy ran and hosted a hugely popular show for a lot of years, and one of the things he was great at is making things awkward, making things uncomfortable.
He loved confrontation. He loved making things weird.
So I'm saying, what the fuck are you doing? Take this $1,000 from this idiot and fucking make it awkward. Make it go somewhere. He can't handle you. He can't handle anybody. He's going after Frog's wife because there's a website where it shows your totals for the month. Like, the guy can't handle anything. So why not take him up on it? He's only going to do it for 1 week, and then he's going to trash you and talk shit, and now you come out a hero. Like, what the fuck? So easy.
Can I tell you the reason why he won't do it?
Yeah.
Sure. He knows he would suck at it. He acts like he invented Jocktober and he's the best at this and anyone could do it. And he knows there's no way he'd be able to listen to Anthony's very professional Sunday night radio show and be able to goof on it.
Dude, we need Ant to show up, and they need to race on the beach like Rocky and Apollo. We need a training montage.
Yes.
Eye of the Tiger. Get Opie pulling some fucking cart in the snow in Russia.
Opie's got the hat already.
You're telling me that Brennan is better than Opie if it were to go down?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
I would put my money on Opie. I would put my money on Opie.
Yeah, but after what we've just learned, all Kevin has to do is like insult him.
Well, that's all he has to do to Kevin, too.
I know, but Kevin will just whine and bitch. Opie will leave.
Kevin will throw him off. Who leaves the screen first?
Right.
There's the question.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Opie gets booted off before Opie leaves. It's not his aunt. I don't see him storming off in front of Kevin.
what I love about this clip is he goes $1,000 a week, and he's like, "Wow, yeah, that would be nice." This is a guy. Look at that view he has. It's a multi-million-dollar view. He's got a house in the Hamptons. He's got another place in Philadelphia. He owns 3 homes, and he's going, "Ooh, $1,000 a week. That would really help things out around here."
I have to take my stupid shot at Anthony for him saying something stupid about me. Then I'll do that, but I don't want to spend a lot of time on it. I really don't. Yes, Sal's saying the same thing. Job was Brennan offered $1,000 to do a reaction show on Mondays to Cumia's WABC show without your shirt on to expose your. You can say it all you want. Keep throwing $5 at me. Oh my God,
it's $2.50 a tit.
Literally.
It's pretty funny when they save the insult to the last few words.
That's great.
And you're like, "Oh, da, 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 da." And you're like, "You suck dick." You're like, "God damn it."
Yeah. Hey, why don't you show off your titties while you're out there? Oh, fuck. I didn't see that one coming.
I wish I wasn't so enthused when I talked about my man tits.
But again, it's another Stuttering John parallel where he's just like, "Oh, insult me all you want. I'll take the money. I'll take your $5.
Yep. We all
that's
will.
What all millionaires say.
Yeah.
Opie's paid $5 in utilities while he was reading this.
Yeah.
He lives in a very expensive place.
The stuff you guys obsess about has nothing to do with my life. I walk around all summer without a goddamn shirt on, you weirdo, and not one person
sucks on my tits. Yeah. Not one person grabs my boobs and squeezes them.
You wait till the summer schedule starts, motherfuckers.
Looks at me and goes, "Oh my God, you guys are weird." I mean, you make it fun though. You make it fun. Opie don't want to get in the mud. No, I really don't, man. You know, I think at this point, mint diggity, if I have to punch back, I will. But I think at this point, I've been able to give my angle on everything that happened. My, from where I sit, I've said it all for the most part. If you want to search out the old videos, great, but I said it all. You know, I gave my perspective, and I just need to do my thing. And if people want to check it out, great. If not, I get it. No problem at all.
All right, there you go. There you have it.
Lovely.
Fascinating. Now that I'm getting a taste, I might need more. Okay, read some of these while I go tinkle. I'll be right back.
Good, Karl.
Off today.
Hold on a second. If I use the word tinkle, you'd be destroying me right now. You're just going to let him.
Oh my God, Frog just said tinkle. Did you guys hear that? What a loser. Dude, turn your microphone off. You're embarrassing yourself.
Yeah, come on.
Nancram with 28 Canadian dollaroos says, "Off today, so forgot it was Monday until I got a notification the cream off was starting. I shrieked. Mr. Nancram, what's wrong? Me. It's a double Karl day. He didn't ask, shook his head, closed the door as he left the room." Thank you, Nancram. Double Karl day.
Adorable.
Stewie Felt says, "Just looked up Gianna."
Yeah.
Thank you, Jesus.
Michaels.
Yes.
Michaels.
Yes. She's a full-figured gal. She's got
Lucy looks great. Like she can dom me and do my taxes at the same time. Talk about a dual threat. I bet seeing taxes triggers Shuli.
That's why you had to go to the bathroom.
Triggers all of us.
Mm-hmm.
Joseph Collins, $5. Are you Greg from Opie and Anthony? Not Opie Radio. Ha ha ha. Yep, exactly. The librarian look is very enticing. Miss Tight Box.
Why, thank you.
As if there's librarians anymore. Can we update these terminology? Rob Sal's Bus Stop. That's a lonely looking place. What star rating did you give Ope? What star rating did Ope give the Uber driver? I bet he doesn't even bother.
Nah.
No
Doesn't
tip either.
No tip, no rating. Be my guess.
Anything else there, Frog? Or are you
Next. This is Frog tinkling now?
Yeah, I think he is.
Fat Factor with 2 pounds. It's like a kid talking about his imaginary friend.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. A little sad. There he is.
All right, should we do a little bit of work while you're here? Oh, you can't hear me. Next one, please. If anyone's paying attention. We read that one. Joseph Collins, I found WATP through the Opie versus Jim compilation on YouTube. Well, that's fantastic. I started doing YouTube as a marketing tactic. I'm like, oh, people are watching YouTube. I'll try to get the people to watch or listen to my podcast by going on there. And then it turns out that, nope, you have to be on YouTube all the time. Things have changed.
What is this? B-Mid?
B-Mid.
B-Mid, thanks for an awesome show and experience Saturday. You guys are awesome.
Thank you.
Was that
from
anybody have a show
Isotopes?
Saturday? Or
Oh, maybe.
Oh, okay.
We
Hi.
did have a guy who was in town, just happened to be in Rochester, and is from, I think he lives in Hartford, from Michigan, who came up to us, came up to me before the show, and he's just like, oh my God, I happened to be in town for work, and I got to come see the show and chatted with him a bunch. He was very cool.
He was so nice. He came up to me and he goes, "You're more beautiful in person." And then all he did was talk about you, Karl. And I was like, I respect you so very much right now. You really won him over.
Well, F, marry, kill. We know who he's marrying. That's for sure. Opie, KB, and SJ are the new miserable men.
Oh, those three together on a show would be fantastic. Just talking about you and me, Shuli. That'd be great.
Oh, constantly storming off on each other, leaving. Doesn't like to be called Opie, yet calls his show the Opie Radio Podcast.
Because he has to.
Yeah.
That's the only way people know who he is.
Yeah. I didn't use my Christian name, Lance. I stuck with Shuli. I'm with Opie on this one. If an aunt told me, "I'm glad your mother isn't alive to see you like this," I'd disown her on the spot. Listen, but that's not something that happens overnight. That aunt has always been a miserable cunt.
Right.
You understand?
You know it going into it.
That's it. You know the player sitting across from you. So why are you giving them the power? Why are you giving them the win? It's so stupid.
Yep.
I have an aunt. We did a thing years ago over Zoom because they were in Israel and we were out here. It was for my mom's anniversary of her passing, and people started telling stories about their lives, not necessarily about my mom. And she got pissed off. Like, we're supposed to be talking about my sister, and we sat there and we let her speak her piece, and everybody went back to the story. And as soon as it ended, I go, "That's it. Never gonna have a fucking problem with this person again.
Yep.
Done. Done." Yeah, Wassa, thank you. Good one, Opie. One divorce away from an Uncle Rico spinoff show.
Echo Pineapple, shout out.
Yeah, good channel over there. Voss gave his password out on air. Funniest thing ever. Yeah.
Yeah, it was funny because he said his password and it turned out to be the password of all of his stuff. People got to do his email account. They got to do everything. Yeah, everything got shut down on him, and everyone changed passwords on him. It was all happened on air.
His Facebook feed was just nothing but gay porn and pictures of Jim and his tidy whiteys. I remember that. And then they started promoting Norton's gigs on his Twitter, which made him really nuts. In a rut, I meant that Lucy doesn't need all that makeup. If she needs her face caked on, I got frosting.
From the Stuttering John School of Seduction.
Love you all. TSN NLO WATP. Thank you. In a rut.
Thank you very much.
WATP.
Voss F up list may be longer than John's. As far as like phrases and stuff, yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. We made fun of Voss's podcast. My wife hates me years ago, and Voss did not take kindly to it. But he's not great.
Was rough. You've covered that podcast twice, Karl.
We've covered it a few times. Yeah.
I can tell you that I saw that show live at the Village Underground with Bennington as the marriage counselor.
Okay.
Dude, they fucking destroyed for like an hour and a half.
Ronnie B's the best.
And he was so good with both of them. And Bonnie's just a killer. And, Voss, he's a great punching bag, but he can deliver it as well when he needs to.
Think about it. Would this be interesting to you? Would you listen to this?
Good point.
I love when she goes off on him. To be honest, I have a 9-inch Johnson, closer to 10. If you want to know the truth.
If you want to know the truth,
Your Opie impression is really good.
Well, it's because you have to talk like a retard. That's basically what your Opie thing is now.
So it's not really.
My wife says it's painful. If you want to know the truth,
that's good. How is Opie better than Bam Margera again?
Oh boy, let's not go there.
Locks and Docs gifting a membership. Thank you, everybody. If you get a gifted membership, enjoy Letitia, Anthony Zenhauser's debut comedy special, available behind the wall for you guys this week. And then we're releasing it to wall. So go enjoy. Thank you for everybody leaving nice comments. Appreciate it. Thank you. Just some perspective from BMC. There are videos on YouTube of Rich Voss funny moments on O&A. There are also YouTube videos titled Nopey, where Opie is taken out.
Great point.
Yes. Yeah. And there's a lot of, like, I've heard Colin versus Voss maybe 10 times. I'll put it on at night sometimes. And it's just every time I'll pick something else up that I didn't hear the first time. And not to mention, Voss is a guy who lights up Colin and like those guys loved when he was on because they knew it was going to be great ball busting. Oh, hey, Lucy, are you going to give it to Lenny? Wow.
Oh, hey, Big Daddy Dodo. I think he's going to give it to me, right?
Yeah, he is.
Maybe.
Oh, yeah. Wednesday.
We'll
Wednesday night. Yeah. Isn't it funny that Opie's appearance on Rogan can't be found on YouTube, but all of Ant's can? Yes, he was on Rogan in 2013. Wow. What does that tell you? I never knew that.
Yeah, Opie was on one of the, it's like maybe episode 230 something. It's a very early episode of the Joe Rogan Experience.
Okay.
An experience he didn't want to begin, I guess.
Right. Happy Valley Wrecking Crew. Frog's wife? Why do these losers target women? People with health problems who are not actively making content. Total pussies. That stuff merits an IRL beatdown. When you can't compete any other way, that's what you do, I guess. But
you also get a certain fan base from doing that sort of thing.
That's right.
You get what you deserve for doing that kind of thing.
That's right. When they're done with his wife, guess whose wife they're going to be coming after?
Yep.
Will Lucy be reviewing the new iDubbbz content cop? Sorry.
All about Ethan Klein, right?
Are you following this iDubbbz thing?
What is this? Explain content cop and iDubbbz to me. What the fuck?
I was a little bored by it. Karl, you give the explanation here, because I feel like we might need to be talking about it at some point soon.
Should we bring that to WATP? I know Aaron Imholt has been talking about this iDubbbz backfiring quite a bit. Of course, iDubbbz, a popular channel, but most of the fans have turned on him.
Really?
Well, he's changed his whole MO, so.
Yeah.
Well, what was his original MO and what did he change it to?
He used to be pretty controversial and has kind of backed off of that. Karl, you were referencing earlier when Howard became okay with Rosie O'Donnell. That's kind of the iDubbbz progression.
Okay.
Yeah, he's got real soft.
Sold out. Got it. Colonel Clink, what the fuck? Who's in charge of wardrobe over here? Hey, man. I'll have Mike wear something a little more revealing tonight. Tonight at 8 on Auntie Karen. Is there anything else we need to get to, ladies and gentlemen? Are we good?
I think we're good.
Yeah, Karl?
Yeah, let me just say again, Hackamania will be in Las Vegas. Hackamania.com. There will be a stream available. If you can't make it to Vegas, you can still watch the shows. And if you use the promo code WATP or Kaylee?
Come?
No, not come. Don't use come.
Okay.
Never use come.
All right. Kaylee.
Kaylee. Cayley.
Come is dead to me. Don't ever say come on this airwaves again.
It does help us out when you do that. But definitely check out Hackamania May 9th through 11th. I am going to be traveling to Dallas the day after Memorial Day. I will be on Normal World with Dave Landau, and then I'm going to be on Prime Time with Alex Stein. Ooh. So that's May 27th and May 28th. So check out Blaze, Glenn Beck's channel for that. And then we're going to be in Boston June 21st. Save the date. Tickets will go on sale this week. They'll probably be on WATPlive.com. But that will be available. We'll be doing a live show with Blind Mike Geary, which I'm very excited about.
Nice.
And Dick Masterson.
I'm so excited.
I know. Me too.
Lucy, while you're excited, please promote what you would like people to follow you and check you out on.
Yeah, I would love it if everybody would check me out over on YouTube at Once Over with Kaylee for tons and tons of movie reviews. That's Cayley. You can also check out my new podcast, which is called The Murder Game Podcast on The Things. We talk about hypothetical things relating to murder. And it's
trying
great.
to figure out how many people you can murder.
Yeah, that's the goal is high
the best
numbers.
Way to do it. Yep.
High numbers, baby. We've had a bunch of amazing guests, so very exciting.
And
Come check it
I
out.
would like to plug this weekend, Chiller Theater Expo in Parsippany, New Jersey.
Nice.
One Stuttering John Melendez will be there. Why don't you go by, take some pictures, talk to him, and bring a measuring stick.
You might even meet Mike Morse. You never know.
You never know. Not far.
Shuli, come to Boston, dang it. All right.
Boston.
I'll sneak in. All right. Hey, you guys are awesome. Tonight, 8 p.m., Auntie Karen, right here on TSN. On your way out, if you don't mind, hit like, hit subscribe, do all that stuff. Thank you to everybody. Super chatted, gifted, supported in any way. We appreciate you guys. We'll see you later tonight. Bye.
Point DabblePoint.